Hello and thanks for joining us for the program this week. Welcome to Take Two as we reflect over the past week of racing on our New South Wales provincial and country tracks. And over the course of the next half hour, there's plenty to get through.
Take two time racing was at Newcastle this Monday, the 26th of May. It was a transferred meeting, originally scheduled for the Saturday prior. And we were on a heavy 10 track right throughout the afternoon. Thankfully, the rain stayed away till pretty late in the day. I've picked out a couple of horses that I think were worth following out of this meeting. The first I want to highlight went around in race number 2. A first starter from the Kerry Parker stable, All the Way May, was second favourite, but was around about a $10 chance because we had a short price favourite in Tyrone's Power, who did lead at the 200 metre mark, but watch the way All the Way May stretches out late.
400 metres out, and they've got a margin led by 2.5 lengths over the rookie. Tyrone's Power now called upon out wider, and then All the Way May, and saving ground the inside is Song for Rosie. Scarlet Monarch is the leader. Tyrone's Power is coming after it strongly, as is All the Way May. Tyrone's Power hit the lead at the 100. All the Way May's a danger on the outside. All the Way May has gone straight past Tyrone's Power, and All the Way May comes away.
All the Way May, it only had the one trial at Kembla Grange leading into the debut run today, and the way she performed on the heavy track, I think there are more wins to come for her. The next horse I want to highlight went around in race number 6 on the card. This was the Fillies and Mares Benchmark 64 over the 1,250 metres. Lunarite was coming off a big win here at Newcastle at her previous start. Today on the heavy track, she relished the conditions, racing well clear late.
It's Naughty Nurse now being tackled by Lunarite in the centre. Motorascarfo back to the inside. Reduccio joining in. And Divine Vicky, the widest runner. Lunarite goes to the lead as they run inside the 200 metres. It's more than a length over Motorascarfo. Reduccio the outside. But it is Lunarite coming away, is going to make it back-to-back wins. Lunarite wins impressively.
Well, Paul Snowden looks like he's got a really talented galloper on his hands in Lunarite, and I think she can continue on her winning way. So the two horses to follow out of this Newcastle meeting this Monday, the 26th of May, All the Way May and Lunarite.
Racing was at Bathurst on Monday, the 26th of May. We started out on a heavy 8 track, but unfortunately rain throughout the course of the meeting meant we could only get 4 races run and won. We're on a very, very heavy surface by the end of it, and the jockeys weren't willing to continue given the downgrade of the surface. I've still found a couple of horses that I think we can follow going forward out of this meeting, and the first one comes up in race 2. A filly by the name of Getting Tipsy. She was lining up for her second start in a race today. She pushed forward from an awkward gate, was able to settle up on speed. Ultimately, she was outgunned by her stablemate Pay Night, but I thought under the circumstances, given how inexperienced she is, she did a really good job to stick on.
Carrick leads Getting Tipsy by about half a length now. Coming home all right was Pay Night, the outside. Carrick gave a little kick here, Getting Tipsy to the centre. Pay Night wanted to duck in there, straightened up, and Pay Night goes the lead now. Getting Tipsy, a stablemate is trying to fight back, but Pay Night is racing away. Pay Night beat Getting Tipsy.
Yeah, look, I don't think a win will be too far away for Getting Tipsy. She's now performed over the 1,000 and the 1,200 metres. She's performed on soft, and she performed well on a heavy track today. So Dave Smith has a little bit there to work with as far as she's concerned. The second horse to follow comes up out of race number 3. A gelding by the name of Millipede. He's only had the 3 runs since joining Kieran Hazelden's stable. He started off pretty low, had been away at the non-tabs. He went to Wellington after that and ran well. And he was really one of the only horses to make ground here today. You see him out the back in the light blue colours, makes his run up the inside, and I thought he did a really good job under the circumstances.
400 left to go in Stonegate Lane. Led over up on the outside now goes Aero Astern Bro. In behind them, Zabru's the fence. Down the outside, Metal Magic, but one on the straight. And Stonegate Lane led clearly now, 2 lengths over Aero Astern Bro, Zabru's, followed by Metal Magic, and then Washik and Rebecca. But Stonegate Lane is sailing along in the lead. Well clear, it's in no danger. Stonegate Lane is first. Stern Bros second, Metal Magic third, Fado fourth, fast finishing Millipede.
Yeah, on a day where nothing really made a huge amount of ground, that race was dominated by the leader and favourite Stonegate Lane. Millipede running on into fourth. I don't think a win will be too far away for him, particularly if he can get back onto a dry surface. So the two horses to follow out of today's Bathurst meeting come up out of race 2, Getting Tipsy, race 3, Millipede.
Take 2 from Hawkesbury on a heavy 10, upgraded to a 9 on Tuesday the 27th of May. My first horse to follow comes out of race 2. His name is Harry's Evidence, trained by Sterling, Alexio and Gerald Ryan. He was well back this afternoon. He's on debut. That's him in the yellow colours rolling forward outside his main danger being Columbia Blue. He was beaten on his merits today. I don't think he was at all comfortable on the heavy ground. He got lost in the home straight. But you keep an eye on him. His name's Harry's Evidence.
Up to the turn, the two favourites. They lock horns here, Columbia Blue and Harry's Evidence. They're well clear of the others. Harry's Evidence ran up to Columbia Blue and he's hit the front now, Harry. Harry's Evidence at the 200. He's in front from Columbia Blue. They're well clear. Harry's Evidence, Columbia Blue. Columbia Blue fighting back here. Harry's Evidence is wayward and Columbia Blue's regained the lead and Columbia Blue goes on to beat Harry's Evidence.
The winner was far too good. But you mark this horse down because I think he's a lot better than what he showed today. That was his debut run. When we see him next time, I think we'll see him on a little bit firmer track. You follow him. Harry's Evidence. My next horse to follow comes up in race 4. His name is Magicon. When we pick the replay up nice and early, he's third last. He's in the green with a little white hoop sleeves. He was a month between runs, dropping from 1,850 metres back to 1,400 metres, trained by Tracy Bartley. Now, the winner is absolutely low-flying Super Nui. She's off and gone. I thought this bloke worked home terrific to fill second.
400 to go. Super Nui still held together here. Looks to be travelling sweetly. Put up about 3 lengths very quickly here. Super Nui and dash right away. Serene next come up the inside. Magicon, Oakfield Pee-wee, Sydney and then Wealthy Investor. But Super Nui's a mile in front. Super Nui coming to the 100. She's loving the wet tracks at the moment. And here's another gap job for Super Nui without even breaking a sweat. She won by 3. Magic Icon ran second.
Tracy Bartley will find a nice little race for this horse in the next few weeks. It's the one to follow out of the race, Magicon from the Tracy Bartley stable. The two horses to follow from Hawkesbury on the 27th of May, Harry's Evidence from the Gerald Ryan Stern Alexio stable and Magicon from the Tracy Bartley yard.
It was cold here at Albury.
And it got colder.
Winter has struck in the SDRA region. We got through the 7 races though. We raced on a heavy 8 on this Tuesday meeting, but credit to the club, the staff, everyone involved to get this meeting through because we've lost a few meetings recently and we found a few nice horses. There was a couple of really good efforts. I thought Dandis was a highlight run, like 63 kilos, able to win on the wet track the way it did, but we've both come up with a couple of maiden horses that were having their first runs for new trainers. Follow them.
That's exactly right. I like a horse coming out of a later race called Blazing Sword. Now, I'm a bit embarrassed to say that I didn't know a lot about the trainer, Tim Fitzsimmons, who came up from Bendigo. We spoke a bit to him and learned a bit about him. He actually trained in Singapore for the last 5 years and has just come over and started training here since February, and he's having a great run with his horses, and he placed his horse really well today. Now, it's formerly with the Archibald stable, where its runs were always at its best over a little bit further, but first up over the 1,400, Blazing Sword, he seemed to put a little bit of speed in its legs, and I thought it was really good to be beaten half a length on this heavy track first up. So we'll take a look at him now.
350 to go. Broken Image goes up on the outside to take the lead from Powerful Magic. Then Desert Opal. Blazing Sword is winding up nicely up the middle of the track. And so too Stormy Malice right down the outside, followed by all the moves. Broken Image in front. Blazing Sword, the big danger on the outside with Desert Opal. It's Broken Image, Desert Opal and Blazing Sword. Desert Opal takes the lead and Desert Opal won it from Broken Image. Third, Blazing Sword.
For a horse that we know that will get out over a bit further deeper into his prep and probably better on top of the ground, I think that we can follow him with a bit of confidence, knowing that he'll break his maiden quite quickly, whether that's over the border or hopefully at Albury or Corowa. I'm not too sure, but keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, he was one to follow for sure, over a bit more distance. The other one is Donegal Bay, having its first start for Danny Beasley. I was formerly with Graham Beck. It's in the red cap as we picked them up. It got way out the back, as Danny alluded to, but finished off really, really well. well. Now, this campaign, it's been placed in all 3 runs. Look for it maybe at Wagga in a couple of weeks, but I like this performance of Donegal Bay getting home hard down the outside and finishing at the rate of knots to run a placing, but it won't be far away next start.
Donegal Bay, the last one, 7 off the lead, 500 to go. Majestic Marimba in front of Magnolia Star. Queen Caves the inside. Stairway comes into it deep, followed by Third Master. Barbecue Sauce back along the inside, and Donegal Bay's got to the outside and is starting to make up some ground. Magnolia Star, the well-back second favourite, races up quickly on the outside to go up the Majestic Marimba, but Donegal Bay's charging home down the outside. It's Magnolia Star in front of Majestic Marimba. Donegal Bay is finishing off very fast, but Magnolia Star won it from Donegal Bay.
Nice effort first up from this newcomer, and I think Danny and the Connections will have a lot of fun. He's got a few horses for the Beg stable that have been winning, and I think that'll be his next one. So Donegal Bay for mine, and for Kayla, Blazing Sword out of this meeting from Albury on Tuesday.
Take 2 time racing was at Gosford this Thursday, the 29th of May. We were on a very heavy track, 8 races on the card, and I've picked out a couple of horses that I think are worth following over the coming weeks, both of them from the Kylie Gavinlock stable. Firstly, we'll highlight Zip On By, who went around in race number 5, the benchmark 64 over the 1,000 metres. Now, Formal was the short price favourite coming off a dominant win at Wyong, but Zip On By certainly gave him a scare.
350 metres to go. He's got a length in front now of Bodgy, who's struggling, pushing out. Zip On By goes to second. Early in the straight, Formal the leader. Zip On By the only threat, giving it a bit of a race, but Formal kicking. 75 to go. He's 3/4 in front. Zip On By stays with, but Formal's that bit too good. Eases him down late. Formal wins. Very good performance by Zip On By. Chased it all the way and made the favourite really work.
Formal scrambled home in the end, but Zip On By was pretty good first up from a spell. I think she'll be very hard to beat wherever she turns up next. Next horse I want to follow went around in race number 6, the maiden, over 1,200 metres. Air Kiss, another one from the Kylie Gavinlock stable, was third run back from a spell today. I got up behind the leaders turning for home and just didn't have a great deal of luck.
Coming up towards the 425, Whispering Rupert shows the way, a half length in front of Louisburg. He's just starting to squeeze him up here, Sherry Louisburg. The leader's going to just give him a bit of a fright here, straightening. It's Whispering Rupert a length in front. Now, Louisburg is full bore. What's he got in the tank here? He's starting to wind up. He's had to go for the gun, but Louisburg is grinding down Whispering Rupert. He's looming on the outside. 50 to go. Whispering Rupert, Louisburg. Oh, look out, Louis. I think he turned it up. I think Whispering Rupert kicked back and won from Louisburg. As for third, Air Kiss.
I'm sure watching that footage, you'd agree with me that she was certainly very unlucky and should have gone pretty close. So stick with her. The 2 horses to follow out of this Gosford meeting this Thursday, the 29th of May, Zip On By and Air Kiss.
Thursday racing from Inverell on the 29th of May. We had overcast conditions. Track was a soft 6. This was originally set down for an Armidale meeting, but it was transferred to Inverell. It was great to be racing on something other than a heavy track and great to be going around. I thought the track played really well. It did. We've seen a lot of horses making ground from the back. We had small fields throughout the day, but a few really nice performances throughout the meeting. And I think we found some nice horses to follow. The horse that I've found out in the meeting comes out of race number 2. It was Libby. Now, she was stepping out to 1,800 metres today for the first time. She settles in a midfield position in a slowly run race. She actually gets shuffled back a couple of pairs. She comes up the fence in the yellow colours.
Up towards the home turn, it's a packing group. Foreman for Lou on the outside, with outspeed even wider. Eagles Cliff holds its ground on the inside, and Quinky Deal now gets up underneath it, and Libby gets the tag behind Quinky Deal to the 200. Quinky Deal is just in front. Eagles Cliff second. Libby is up along the inside from Foreman for Lou. Behind those next was Omakami. Quinky Deal just in front. Libby, Eagles Cliff, Foreman for Lou. Quinky Deal on the outside just in front. Quinky Deal just wins from Libby.
Unfortunately, the winner, Quinky Deal, just kept kicking, but I thought that was a really encouraging run. She's been placed to last 3. And she no doubt got the trip today, so that opens up a few more avenues for her.
Yeah, I agree. She's got a foot on the till, doesn't she? And she's just getting better and better with every run. My horse to follow coming out of today's meeting is actually coming out of race 6. It was Calico Miss. Now, she'd only had
one start where she won quite convincingly there at Corindi. So this is her straight out of Maiden Company. It was in a Class 1. She steps away with the middle of the pack, but she just had no luck in the run. She's in the green and yellow colours.
Around the home turn, 400 out. Poseidon the Sun is in front, looming ominously as Calico Miss on the outside. A length away, third, Woku from Sharpen the Knives and Megan inside the 200. Poseidon the Sun is still a length in front. On the outside was Calico Miss, followed by Woku and Sharpen the Knives, but it's Poseidon the Sun in front. First out, first home, Poseidon the Sun by a length. Calico Miss second.
Thought she fought on bravely. Halfway down the straight, you thought, oh, is she going to pick up the leader, who just got a beautiful run out in front? But there's not much to look at with this filly. Although she was very healthy in the coach, she's still little and light. I think she's still 6 months away. But boy, does she have a little motor, and she just tries so hard. So encouraging signs. I think she's certainly worth following.
Okay, my horse to follow is Libby.
And I like the run of Calico Miss. They're the horses to follow from Inverell.
Friday racing on the 30th of May, Casino Beefweek Cup Day. We had wet weather during the day, but I thought all the jocks and everyone did a magnificent job.
Yeah, the track held up pretty good, and we haven't raced here for 3 or 4 years with the Beefweek Cup, so it was nice to be back. Even though the weather was a bit miserable, we got through the day.
3 years since we hosted here. The last time I hosted here was 3 years.
Yeah,
they've gone through a lot of wet tracks, track repairs, but
renovations.
You were pretty keen on Championay.
I was. I really like this horse. He had nearly a 13-month break, and you'll pick him up. He's in the purple colours with the white armbands. You're sitting outside the leader getting into the home turn.
Coming around the bend, Championay made a beeline to the middle of the track. Enhance came wider. Call out back closer to the inside, then no regrets. Championay led past the 200 metres mark. Enhance and Call Out are giving chase. It's Championay in front with 50 metres left to go, and Championay too good.
Yeah, good win.
That was a good effort, Gary. And
good training performance.
Yeah, well, he only had the one trial coming into it. He had a nice soft trial there. He won the trial at Grafton, but wasn't really extended. He just wandered off the track a little bit from the 200 home, and that could have been a little bit of tiredness too for that long break. He's a horse that definitely can step up more distance and improve. Yeah. Maybe over the Grafton July Carnival you might see him, but definitely follow him when he gets over a bit further.
Yeah, mine comes out of race 5. It was Cab Sat. Just I like what he did. Yeah. He was second up here today. He needed the run first up. He really fought. He had to do a lot of work down the back. Cab Sat will pick him up on the corner. He eventually finds the front. He's in the green and white with the black cap. He goes under just on the line.
They move away from the running rail and stretch across the track. Personal Space, Rainbow Lass in the centre. Bondi Prophet is deeper out. Hare Street coming right down the outside. Rainbow Lass past the 200 on the outside of Cav Sav. Deeper out is Hare Street, but it's Rainbow Lass and Cav Sav. Rainbow Lass. Cav Sav, the Lass. Rainbow Lass beat Cav Sav.
Yeah, I like what he did there, horse. You know, I watched him first up and he was going to win. Condition blew out. He did an awful lot of work down the back of 3 and 4 deep, pushing forward to lead. And he's just gone under. Here's another horse that's probably a better horse, third up, fourth into his preparation.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, you look at his second up record, I think he's had 6 goes for one minor place. There's probably those fitness issues with him, but like you said, third up is better for him, so follow him.
He'll do me. Catsap coming out of race 5.
Yeah, and Championay out of race 4 for me.
Right, there are our Take 2 horses coming out of Friday's meeting at Casino on Beefweek Cup Day. Racing was at Goulburn on Friday. We had some really good performances by some nice horses that we'll touch on a bit later. The track was a soft 7. They tended to get to the outside later, but it made no difference with my Take 2 horse. But you've picked one out of the maiden race, Carla.
Yeah, a horse that was resuming first up for Pat Murphy. Now, first up over the 1,000 metres. Last preparation we saw him, he was always a bit green, but finding the line well. He still raced a little bit green today, but I like the way he found the line, although well beaten by Quain Step. We'll pick him up now. His name is Rouge Home.
And Rogue Home's come to the outside. Quain Step showed a good dash there at the top of the straight. Put up 3 lengths. El Kwasabi giving chase. Lightly Sparkle back on the far side. The way ahead, and Rogue Home trying to wind up, but Quain Step's a big leader. 150 to go. Jockey had a look around the left shoulder. You're a mile in front here, Matty, and it's all Quain Step. It's going to bolt in. Quen step 1 by 5. Second went 2. El Kwasabi and Rogue Homs run third.
I think his best is definitely going to be getting out over a bit further. And as I said, the winner was quite impressive. And the second horse, David Pfeiffer, spoke highly about prior to the race. So I think it'll be a good form reference. Like I said, I think he'll be knocking a maiden off quickly this preparation.
Yeah, the winner was far too good, but look for it next time out, Rouge Home. My horse to follow is an obvious one. It goes by the name of Hell of a Fox. This Luke Pepper trained galloper has been really in the zone. 3 starts this campaign for 3 wins. Came off a very impressive performance at the Sapphire Coast, but its win today was more important for the young jockey, Jack Baker. He's only recently joined the Pepper stable. He's up from the northern part of New South Wales. And this is an important win for him. It gets right to the outside in the green cap, but it's really in the zone. Its name is Hell of a Fox.
Hell of a Fox a long way back. Goofanoda staying close to the inside. Lethal Lady got onto heels, one of the last. At the top of the straight, in the nick of time, slipped up the inside, ran to the front with Kai Taishi, and running on was Apparate. Midnight Luna back in behind those. Wider out, Hell of a Fox, the deepest runner. Apparate, Kataishi, Midnight Luna, Prince Papa, Hell of a Fox down the outside. Midnight Luna on the far side. Prince Papa and Hell of a Fox, they've found the fast lane. Hell of a Fox. The Fox too good.
Some performance, it was able to beat some nice horses there, and I thought just a horse that's going to go places and pretty quick for mine. So Hell of a Fox for myself and Rouge Home for Kayla out of this meeting at Goulburn. Great meeting at Kembla Grange on Saturday. Some nice horses went around. I was really impressed by the performance of a horse in the early stages of its career called Point Score. This gallop had only raced once previously, comes out of the Amanda Turner stable and was so dominant winning at its first run back from a spell after 2 very, very impressive trial wins. As we pick them up, it takes over in front for Molly Fitzgerald. This was her first winner back after a bit of time out, but I'll tell you what, it won't be Molly's last, and it certainly won't be Point Score's last either. Very impressive winner of the first.
5:50 left to go. Mysterious Master led at the 4:50, approaching the point of the Turner. Point Score in second. Kilbrannan takes the shortcut and tries to get to the outside. In Limbo's out in the middle. And then came Cosmonaut with 300 metres left to go. Mysterious Master in front. Point Score picking back the margin on the outside. 3 away in Limbo. Then Cosmonaut. 200 metres left to run. Point Score got to a 2-length lead. Mysterious Master's gone. Then Kilbrannan followed by In Limbo and Cosmonaut. But Point Score's off and gone for the prize. 20 to go. And Point Score won.
Nice horse. Amanda Turner's had some nice horses throughout her career, but this horse on the way through. Remember its name, Point Score. The other one to follow is Calgary King. This one was very impressive in closing third behind a nice horse in REQ. Now, trainer Ron Quinton that won with REQ had a big day with the owners. They had a winner the day before with the full sister in Quain Step. And this horse was really good REQ, but I thought the runner Calgary King was very, very good closing late. It's in the yellow and blue as we pick them up.
Past the 400, REQ travels well down the straight, led by 2, Mr. Rocket chasing, then the grey flying, running in away, gets its chance now and starts to spread hard and then fly and then run, Rani runner. 150 metres left to go. It's REQ, the grey's chiming in within away. It's right on the inside there, REQ. Mr. Rocket's flying up along the fence. REQ, Mr. Rocket. REQ leads all of the way. Beats a photo finish. They're lined up there for second, third and fourth. Mr. Rocket, the grey, in a way had its chance. Calgary King.
He won't be far off winning Calgary King the way he ploughed through the conditions. Closing late, no match for the winner, but I think he'll pay to follow. So he's one of my take 2 horses, Calgary King, and the other one was very, very impressive in our first race here, Point Score.
Take 2 time. Racing was at Muswellbrook this Sunday, the 1st of June. We're racing on a rain-affected track. There were 7 races on the card, and I've picked out a couple of horses that I think might be worth keeping an eye on over the coming weeks. The first horse I want to highlight went around in race number 1. A first starter by Frosted from the Chris Lee stable, Izzy Star, and had one really quiet trial leading into today's assignment. She got back a touch over the 900 metres, but watch the way she finds the line late.
550 metres out. Pressing it on the outside now as it stays in Vegas. They're 2 lengths Izzy Star to Tony Whiter, then Velka. Andrea staying nearer the inside. Go Russian starting to work to the outer, and they're clear of the others. Raging Force drove through as they run to the 250. Ryder had a good look around his shoulder, and it led and kicked away now. Izzy Star is out and chasing. Raging Force in front. Izzy Star goes to second. Raging Force, though, accelerating away close to the line. Favourite Far Too Good. Raging Force wins over Izzy Star.
Well, obviously the winner, Raging Force, has a lot of talent and we'll see more of him. But I think it might be worth following Izzy Star. Wherever she turns up next, I think maybe over 1,000 metres on a bigger track, I think she's going to be very hard to beat. The next horse I want to follow in around in race number 2 on the card, a Brummagem from the Brett Thompson stable, was first up off a lengthy break today. The blinkers went on off a good Wellington trial, covered a bit of extra ground, but I thought boxed on quite well.
Coming after now is Brummagem. It's drifted to the centre of the track. Wider as Thor's Lightning starting to run on. It is Ballyisle leading as they run to the 200 metres. Brummagem looks to be the danger. Priscilla Statement 2 lengths away. And then came Clandoro. Lala Leak's not in the race, but Ballyisle's going strongly inside the last 100. Brummagem can't get there. And Ballyisle over Brummagem.
Ballyisle was a little bit too speedy, but I thought Brummagem stuck to his guns well. And given that he was first up for such a long time, he can only come on from that run. Stick with him. He'll be winning a race real soon. So the 2 horses to follow out of this Muswellbrook meeting this Sunday, the 1st of June, Izzy Star and Brummagem.
Hope you enjoyed the program this week, and we look forward to doing it all again next time around, and hope we have the pleasure of your company then. Bye for now.